Dear students, today we will discuss on study on diseases of pomegranate. Pomegranate is one of the favorite table fruit of tropical and subtropical regions. It is native of Iran and it belongs to family Punicaceae. It is attacked by several pathogens causing different type of diseases such as leaf spot, blights, fruit rots. The present topic will deliver an idea on the symptoms and pathogen characters associated with major diseases. First one is the fungal diseases, and the disease is Cercospora leaf spot. The symptom appears as scattered leaf spots, circular or irregular, brown with yellow halo, later turns dark brown in color. Small circular black spots appears on sepals of flower. Twigs become flattened and depressed with raised edges. Later, infected plant parts dry up. Next, let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom is fungi, phylum Ascomycota, class Dohc&Tm, order Capnodiales, family Mycospheruliaceae, genus Cercospora. Now, let us see about the character of this pathogen. This disease is caused by fungus Cercospora punicae. Conidiophores are olivaceous brown, short fasciculate and septate. Conidia are hyaline to pale olivaceous, cylindrical, subfusate to subclavate and septate. Next important disease is Alternaria fruit spot. Small reddish brown circular spots appear on the fruits. As the disease advances, these spots coalesce to form larger patches and the fruits start rotting. The infected fruits become pale and unfit for consumption. Now, let us see about the scientific classification. Kingdom is fungi, phylum Ascomycota, class Dohc&Tm, subclass Pleosporomycetidae, order Pleosporales, family Pleosporaceae, genus Alternaria and species Alternata. Now, let us see about the character of this pathogen. Conidiophore are septate, branched or unbranched, greenish to brown, straight or flexus. Conidia with pyriform, conical or cylindrical beak, ovoid or ellipsoidal, which produce in long chain or single, pale brown to light brown. Next important disease is Anthracnose. In older fruits, symptoms appear as rounded black spots which later coalesce, forming a bigger irregular blotches. The typical symptoms on inflorescence, leaves and fruits appear as black to brown necrotic depressed spots. Now, let us see about the scientific classification. Kingdom is fungi, division Ascomycota, class Sororiomycetes, order Glomerulus, family Glomerulaceae, genus Coletotrichum, and species is Gliosporites. Now let us see about the character of this pathogen. The mycelium is branched, sparsely septate, hyaline. Setae are 1 to 4 septate and swollen at the base. Conidiophores are hyaline and unbranched. The conidia are subhyaline and variable in shape. The sexual spores are ascospores borne on perithecia. Next important diseases are fruit rots. Here there are so many pathogens are involved. Let us discuss one after another. First one is the Cladosporium Fruit Rot. Symptoms appear as orange-red to dull brown circular spots and become olive brown. In advanced stage, the entire fruit rots. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom fungi, division Ascomycota, class Dohc&Tm, order Capnodiales, family Davidialaceae, genus Cladosporium. Next is the pathogen character. Hyphae of the fungus are septate, light olive green. Conidiophores are light brown and simple. Conidia are light brown to olive green, one-celled and fusate. Next important disease of the fruit rot is the Aspergillus fruit rot. The fungus may grow within the fruit without the external symptoms. Infected fruits are slightly off color and may show yellowish to brownish red discoloration, which gradually becomes blackish and slimy. Later it becomes depressed and covered by green conidial heads of the fungus. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom is fungi, division Ascomycota, class Uroseuomycetes, order Urosales, family Trichocomaceae, genus Aspergillus, and species is Flavus. Now let us see about the character of this pathogen. Aspergillus flavus colonies are commonly powdery masses of yellow-green spores on the upper surface and reddish gold on the lower surface. Hyphae are septate and hyaline. The conidiophores are rough and colorless. Phyalites are both uniseriate and biseriate. Next important fruit rot is the mild soft rot. The symptoms appears as soft brown tissue which later covered with masses of green mycelium, conidiophores and hyphae of the fungus. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom is fungi, division Ascomycota, class Uroseuomycetes, order Urosales, family Trichocomaceae, genus Penicillium, and species is Chrysogenum. Now let us see about the character of this pathogen. The colonies consist of dense erect conidiophores, appear as grey-green, velvety, but in PDA it appears as yellow to yellow-orange. Conidiophores with monoverticillate consisting of an unbranched stripe, smooth to rough germination with 10 to 12 hyalides, and usually reproduces by forming dry chains of spores or conidia from brush-shaped conidiophores. The conidia are blue to blue-green in color. Next important fruit rot disease is the soft rot. Symptoms appear as small spots on fruit and increase in size, which coalesce at later stage. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom is fungi, division Zygomycota, class Mycorrhizomycotina, order Mycorrhizales, family Mycorrhizaceae, genus Rhizopus. Now let us see about the character of this pathogen. Rhizopus species grow as filamentous branching hyphae that generally lack cross walls. Sporangia are supported by sporangiophore. Sporangiophores arise among distinctive root-like rhizoids. In sexual reproduction, a dark zygospore is produced at the point where two compatible mycelia fuse. Next important fruit rot disease is the dry rot. Symptoms appear as small isolated dark patches on the surface of the fruits and covered with mycelium and spores of the fungus. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom is fungi, order Mycorrhizales, family is Syncephalastraceae, genus Syncephalastrum, species Rhizomosum. Now let us see about the pathogen character. Genus Syncephalastrum is characterized by the formation of cylindrical merosporangia on a terminal swelling of the sporangiophore. Sporangiophores are erect, stolon-like, often producing adventitious rhizoids, and so sympodial branching, producing curved lateral branches. At maturity, merosporangia are thin-walled, evanescent, and contain 5 to 10 globose to ovoid, smooth-walled sporangiospores. Next important fruit rot disease is the Phomopsis rot. The disease starts from calyx end and gradually spreads over the entire fruit. Pycnidia appears on affected areas. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this pathogen. Kingdom is fungi, phylum Ascomycota, class Sorderomycetes, subclass Sorderomycetidae, order Diaportales, family Diaporthaceae, and genus is Phomopsis. Now let us see about the character of this pathogen. Pycnidia with or without beak are found in the affected tissue. They are globose or irregular. Conidiophores in the pycnidium are hyaline, simple or branched. Conidia are of two types, that is alpha conidia, it is ovoid or fusoid, and beta conidia, that is stylospore with filiform curve at the apex. Next important bacterial disease is the bacterial blight. The disease symptom on stem starts as brown to black spot around the nodes. Later in advanced stage, nodal infection, girdling and cracking of nodes and leads to breakdown of branches. In leaves, the symptom appears as small irregular water-soaked spots, necrotic, pinhead size. The spot can be seen against light, which appears as translucent. In advanced stage, the light brown spots turns dark brown, which is surrounded by prominent yellow margin. In fruits, the symptom appears as black spots on pericarp with cracks passing through the spots. Now let us see about the scientific classification of this bacteria. Kingdom Bacteria, phylum Proteobacteria, class Gamma Proteobacteria, order Genthomonadales, family Genthomonadaceae, and genus is Genthomonas. Now coming to the character of this pathogen. Genthomonas oxynopodis pathova punicae is gram-negative, rod, motile with single polar flagellum. It is non-acid fast and aerobic bacteria. So this is all about the important diseases, symptoms and pathogen characters. Now coming to the conclusion of this topic. Pomegranate is affected by many diseases like Cercospora leaf spot, Alternaria fruit rot, dry rot, Aspergillus rot, Anthracnose and bacterial blight. For increasing productivity and the management of diseases, application of appropriate control measures is needed. However, for proper management of the disease or before application of the control measures, symptoms associated with diseases need to be identified, followed by the proper identification of the associated pathogens.